Welcome back to episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. We are back. We are here. Hope you had a great Memorial Day, a great long weekend. That's why we didn't go live on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. And we are back with episode 115. The Michael Crabtree, Michael Campanaro, the Marquise Brown, the Dave Zassadil, the Ryan Mallett episode of the Purple Rain podcast. And great day. Warm weather out. Beautiful weather out, and there's football going on. How are you doing today, Sutton?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. I cannot complain, not one little bit. Not at all, man. I mean, episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. First and foremost, big shout out to all of you guys who have been giving us support lately. We've been getting some pretty good numbers lately. We appreciate you guys for that. The likes have been off the charts, the views have been off the charts, the subs, all that. We appreciate all of you guys. The comments, the engagement, all of it. The Rain Gang group chat. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of it, man. Big shout out to the entire Rain Gang. First and foremost, just want to give a huge shout out to all of you guys for just supporting us throughout this time we've been doing this podcast. Of course, we're going to bring up the live people in the chat here in just a second. But first, before we get into anything else, make sure you go ahead and like the video. Let's keep the like train going, right? Because the like train has been going pretty strong recently. Like the video, also subscribe to the channel if you are new here to the Purple Rain podcast. Another thing, you can find us on Instagram at the Purple Rain podcast, just like you see down there below. You can follow this guy over here on Twitter at simplyas10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And most importantly, you can find him on YouTube at simplyas10, the highlight king. Listen, don't forget it. Look him up on YouTube, man. Look him up on YouTube if you're not aware. For me, you can find me on Twitter at Sutton Def. You can find me on Instagram at Sutton Def as well. But what I really want to talk about, guys, is this Purple Rain podcast group chat. This group chat, I've been loving it recently, man. Like, everybody's been having a lot of fun in it. We're adding new people in it. So again, I'm going to say this again. If you want to be added to the Purple Rain podcast Instagram group chat, please reach out to either the Purple Rain podcast or the Instagram page, or my Instagram page at Sutton Def, or I'm sure if you hit up Simply as well, he'll probably mess with you. He'll get you in there as well. Another thing, if you're not watching live right now, I see a lot of people in the live chats right now. We're going to get to you guys in just a second. If you're not watching live right now and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, we thank you guys so much for coming out to this episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. Alex, listen, the replay gang has been going absolutely nuts lately, man. It's been crazy. They've been going crazy. We love the replay gang. Make sure you guys continue to leave your comments down below in the chat room. We appreciate you guys so much, man. All right, let's just go ahead and get into who we have here in the live chat right now. Taquan Christian is in the house, says, what's up, Rain Gang? Alex and Sutton, what's going on, Taquan? Salute to you. Dre says, what's up, Purple Rain Gang? What's going on, Dre? Always coming through. We got our Purple Rain pioneers in here earlier. Listen, if you want to be a Purple Rain pioneer, you got to stick around. You know what I mean? You got to stick around. You got to like the video. You got to subscribe to the channel. You got to follow the Instagram. You got to keep up with all things Purple Rain. Be active. Talk about it, Alex. Be active, you know? That's all it is. K-Dog, Mod K-Dog. This is another Purple Rain pioneer. Says, yo, what's good, Rain Gang family? On this Friday Eve, smash that like button and get it out the way. Purple hearts. Peace. Yeah. Let's see. Tyler Brown in the house says, live gang. What's going on, PRP? Live gang. I like that. Tyler? What's going on, Tyler? Appreciate you for coming through. Marcel Allen in the house. Don C, the Don.
The Don himself.
The Don is in the house. What's going on, Don C? Appreciate you for coming through, pulling up to this episode of PRP. Alex is fired up. I am too. Falou is in the house, says, yes, sir. Yolanda's in the house. What's going on, Yolanda? See, Stackhouse is in here. Oh, my goodness, man. Everybody's in here, man. We appreciate it. I see my guy Hemo4 is in the building. Daquan is in the building. Brandon Tillman is in the building. Brandon Collins. I see Dawson Bullock is in the building as well. Tanja Bowman saying what's up to Don C and Yolanda, two other Purple Rain pioneers. Tanja, what's going on? Or Tanya, what's going on? I appreciate you for coming through. We appreciate you. Let's see. King Tay is in the building. Never seen you before. Black Daniels is in the house as well. Thank you, Black Daniels, for coming through. He says, I'm driving, but I'm listening. Black Daniels, be safe on that road. And Yeah, definitely pay attention to the road. But of course, we always love your feedback here on the show. Let's see who else we have in here. I can't miss anybody. I can't miss anybody, Alex. You know that. And if you're part of the replay gang, make sure you come out to the live gang. Be a part of the live gang because we love to bring everybody up. This is what we do. Kimberly Harmon says, how's everybody's evening so far? Hey, Kimberly, how you doing tonight? Appreciate you for coming through. Our evening's going pretty well. You know,
So
it's
far, so
storming
good.
outside where I am, but it's
Oh,
all good. Yeah,
it
it's
just
all
hit me.
good.
Must be
Yeah,
making its
yeah.
way over.
Exactly. But it's all good though, because we're about to talk some Ravens football here and put everything at ease. Action Jackson Flocks in the building. Jason Moyer says, "What's up, guys? What's going on,
What's up,
Jason?
Jason?
Appreciate you for coming through." Jay Rashi, Never Wet says, "Yo, what's going on, man? Appreciate
Welcome.
you." Yeah, welcome. Wayne Jones in the house says, "What up, PRP? What's going on, Wayne?
Come on, Wayne.
Appreciate you for pulling up." Yeah. So now that we've gotten through that, let's go ahead and just get into what we really came here to talk about this evening, right? First and foremost, guys, most recent news, the Purple Rain podcast is now sponsored by Manscaped. You can see it on Simply AS10's shirt right there, Manscaped, you know, the nation's leader in below the belt personal hygiene for men. Make sure that if you are a man and if you are trying to keep up with your personal hygiene, make sure you go ahead and you check out Manscaped. And guess what? If you're a fan of the Purple Rain podcast, if you're part of the hashtag
What do they
Rain
get?
Gang,
Well,
you can get
what do they get?
20% off, Alex. Alex, you can get 20% off. It's crazy, right? You can get
20.
20% off of your Manscaped order, your Manscaped purchased, if you go on there and you type in the code PRP. It's just as simple as that.
That's a bargain and a
PRP.
half.
That's a
Bargain and a
bargain. Look, you heard it here first, right? Tyler Brown says hashtag Rainscaped. I love it. I love it. My personal favorite, I was telling Alex this before we went live, the nose hair trimmer is really, really good. My guys who are, 20s and 30s and up, you're getting some nose hair, that sort of thing. Your barber doesn't get it for you. You can't get it yourself. Go on Manscaped and get that nose hair trimmer. Get the package. Get the full package, man. They even got nice shirts. Look at Alex right now. You get 20% off if you order using the code PRP.
Yeah. And they sent the one razor with this guard, right? I could never get the right length for this right here, but until they sent me something, oh boy, it got me right. So thank you very much. I loved it.
Yeah. Big shout out to Manscaped for sure. Let's see what we see you guys saying here in the chat. Black Daniel says trim your bushes. Yeah, you got to.
Stay clean.
Yeah, Tanya saying right here, yes, man, get yourself right. You got to get yourself right, You heard it there first.
Much like Engraven says, got to keep it clean.
Gotta keep it clean. You know what I mean? Hashtag team keep it clean. Big shout out to Engraven, man. Always staying active. Always posting the latest Ravens news, man. If you're not already aware of Engraven's channel, make sure you go ahead and sub to him. But I'm sure most of you guys are, man. I mean, we're all family here. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. Let's get into this episode's Purple Rain report. This is brought to you by Manscaped. Make sure you go on Manscaped. You can save 20% off your order if you use the code PRP. Again, the code PRP. It would also be down in the description if you're part of the hashtag replay gang.
Yes.
But yeah, the Purple Rain report brought to you by Manscaped. This episode is going to be centered around a couple things, guys. OTAs, week 2 of OTAs. We're getting into the goods, the bads, the uglies, the pretties, everything about the second week of OTAs. My guy, Simply AS10, has already taken the liberty of chopping the videos up from the Ravens media and making sure that we can see what is going on at these OTAs. So without any further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and pull that up here. And let's just get into the reactions. Alex, what are your reactions? You chopped up the videos. You edited them yourself. What are your reactions to what you saw from week 2 of OTAs?
Well, my nerd is having a stinker right now. That's lovely. But what I noticed was who was big off-season, $70 million. Marcus Williams showed up.
Yeah.
That right there. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll let you get into yours too, but just seeing him on the field, seeing what he'll bring to the team, him getting acclimated with this new defense. I love it. I love it so much. I think right there, number 99 of Dafe Owe. He just looks absolutely ripped, shredded, and just built to just get 10 sacks this season. Most likely more. Love that.
Yeah, I mean, what you said about Odafe Owe is exactly true, man. I mean, like, Owe is one of those guys where if he can take a big step up this season, the Ravens defense will take, oh my God, it'll be night and day, in terms of like how we were last year, in terms of like our defensive stats, our turnovers, our, getting off the field on third down, percentage, that sort of thing. It'll be through the roof if we can have a pass rusher who can really, really put pressure on the quarterback. So I agree there. But I mean, getting to what you were saying about guys like Marcus Williams, oh my goodness, dude. Marcus Williams looks good. From what I've heard and what I've seen, looks good. And then also just the fact that, and just real quick, like the fact that Kyle Hamilton will be playing alongside him, the best safety pick in the draft, this past year's draft. It looks like the Ravens, what they're doing is they are trying to get an opportunistic secondary. And what I mean by that is a secondary that's not only trying to deflect, bat down passes, make sure that things don't happen for the opposing team's offense. They're also trying to take the ball away from the opposing team's offense, which is something that the Ravens have struggled with greatly in the past few years. So you can see like what they've done with the secondary, getting these guys, these opportunities, these guys who, I mean, you've said this, the stat the past two episodes, like they have two of like the three top players in turnovers in the last couple years, in the secondary. That's insane. What they're trying to do right now is really good. And, what I've seen from OTAs reflects that.
And I'm going to bring up another pass rusher who kind of just – it spread all over Twitter today. That's Jalen Ferguson. Jeff Cerebrex said he didn't even notice him. That's how much different he looks. And that's for the positive. So I see that Don even talked about it. You see how Snack Daddy Ferguson is getting yoked. And this right here, this is his chance. I think this is his last chance with us. He needs to show up. I mean, we've seen past couple of years, his rookie year, had a couple of sacks. Nothing really since. So this year, I mean, he has to step up because we're still, I think, thin on the pass rush side. So he can definitely make his mark and hopefully earn himself some more snaps. But that right there is definitely promising, seeing that he's went above and beyond during offseason to get yoked. Like that, like that term, yoked. Love that.
Yeah. And I mean, I like the fact that Don brought this up. I think that Jalen Ferguson, he is on definitely a prove it year. And you got to take these prove it years in context, because I also think that Dalen Hayes is also in a prove it year, but in different context. I think Dalen Hayes is in a prove it year because, I mean, he was just a rookie. He was drafted. We had high hopes for this guy. We drafted him in the first 3 rounds of last year's draft. Was hurt for most of the season, didn't get to see the production. Going into his second year, granted, he is healthy now. We want to be able to see that production that we were expecting last offseason, So he's in a prove it year just as much as Jalen Ferguson is. And it's good to hear that Jalen Ferguson, former sack daddy, quote unquote, is slimming down. It's hard to recognize him. He's working harder, these things. But, I mean, it's just all good news for our defensive line, for our front seven. All good news.
And then one more thing, it's kind of from the press conference, is that Marcus Williams acknowledged that he's leaning heavily on Chuck Clark as he's learning the Ravens defense, which I think is why I really didn't want Chuck Clark to get traded, just because of what else he brings besides the play on the field. I mean, just the smarts. You really can't teach that. And yeah, I think that was being underestimated by some people. Now, I know he's dropped picks. I know that, but just helping him learn is doing wonders. So we'll get into more about the defense. But my final thing, too, is seeing Marcus Peters and J.K. Dobbins on the football field, not training, just seeing out there smiling. That just brought a smile to my face. I was so happy.
For sure.
Thank goodness.
For sure. Listen, man, I mean, having a J.K. Dobbins and a Marcus Peters back in this, like, on this offense and this defense, like, it's the impact is unparalleled, man. It's night and day, dude. Like,
nobody understands how much we miss them both. And Gus.
Nobody. Exactly. Talk about it, bro. Talk about it. I've seen highlights on Twitter, about those two. But
just like Gus Edwards literally averages 5.3 yards a carry, and you don't hear about it.
Goodness. You don't.
When was the last time you heard somebody be like, that Gus Edwards guy, he's something. Like, no, nobody talks about that.
Right.
At all. It's insane.
And the reason why nobody talks about Gus Edwards specifically is because he is the third running back in that running back room. when you think about it. Like, you've got J.K. Dobbins, again, and I've said this before, not saying Lamar Jackson is a running back, but they utilize him in a lot of ways where he's running the football on design running plays. So in a lot of ways, Gus Edwards is the third option on that Ravens team when it comes to running the football. So you really don't get to see, or like the mass media, the masses really don't get to see how good Gus Edwards is, but that's fine. That's fine with me.
Good, because that means he'll be with us longer. His legs
Yeah.
will be fresher, because there's
Yeah.
one running back who I've seen in Dallas right now who got overused like hell. Now they're biting on that contract they paid him. Yeah. Gus, that's why Mark Ingram was sticking around in this league and still is in this league, because he wasn't used nonstop in New Orleans. Wasn't used nonstop here. I mean, he was here used, but Gus was still there, and we had Justice Hill. So, I mean, I think it's a win-win because he'll be getting more money with more contracts, and we'll be getting just better play at. So, seeing him back too, like when he's back, I just can't wait for that, because I think number 35 is one of the most underrated players in the league, and that's just speaking without a bias. I truly think just 5.3 yards a carry, that's elite. I'll just stop because I probably sound like a homer, but I just
No, I mean, you're being realistic. I mean, it's not very homerish of you to say or to give a stat. I mean, 5.3 yards a carry. That's not homerish. That's a fact. You know what I mean?
And that's he was there when Flacco was the quarterback. He was there during Lamar's rookie season. He's been, as the team and offense has been changing, he's been there too. So he was there with a Marty Morningwing and then with a Greg Roman. So yeah, I'm gonna just hype myself up too much, I think, before the season starts, and that can't happen.
Right.
I'm already excited.
We got our guy King95 in the house as your what it do. What's going on, King? Appreciate you for coming through. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Like the video. Leave a like right now.
29 likes. Let's get to 35. 35 for Gus.
Let's get to 35 for Gus. Come on, guys. If you're part of the hashtag replay gang, we might be well above 35, but make sure you like the video as well. And also, if you are new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because there is plenty, and when I say plenty, I mean plenty of more Ravens content coming your way over the next couple of months. We got about 99 days until the season starts, right?
I think 98.
Something like that. 98. Okay, we're counting down now. We're counting down. As far as me and Simply as 10 are concerned, we are counting down until Ravens football is back. So make sure you're tuned in, locked in to the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us on Instagram as well at the Purple Rain Podcast. And again, big shout out to my guy King. I see my guy Gerald is in the house giving a shout out to K-Dogs and went up to him. What's going on, Gerald? Appreciate you for coming through. Yet another Purple Rain pioneer. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much, so much. But listen, guys, I want to get into a couple of other things about OTAs. A couple of tweets, actually, right? A couple of tweets from one Jonas Schaefer, Ravens beat writer, of course, you guys know. A couple of things he was saying about the OTAs from yesterday, some of the things that happened. One, Tyler Huntley, he had a 45-yard touchdown to Rashad Bateman, beating Marcus Williams in coverage. Love that, for sure. Beating Marcus Williams. I mean, of course, I'm not thrilled with the fact that he beat our safety, but I am thrilled with the fact that, like, Rashad Bateman, he is capable of beating top-notch cornerbacks, being a Marlon Humphrey. We saw that with our own two eyes, me and you, right? And then beating safeties over the top. Like, Rashad Bateman, he is that dude. He has it, right? He has it.
Him.
He is him. He is him. And we will see that this year. I feel like we will. And that's one of the reasons why I will double down. I've said it on a couple of episodes at this point now on the Purple Rain Podcast. I don't think that we necessarily need. Yes, it would be a luxury, but I don't necessarily think that we need to go out and get another top-notch wide receiver, veteran wide receiver, this or that. Yes, I did say in the past that Julio would be nice, this and that. But it's looking less and less likely for that to happen, right? So at this point, I'm saying that, like, I think Bateman could be the guy, could be our guy. What are your thoughts?
I think he is the guy. I've kind of just resorted to the fact we probably won't get another receiver, and that's probably the best thing. I just can't see it happening anymore with the signing of Kyle Fuller. So we'll see what happens. But if we roll with what we got, I mean, I'll be happy either way. So let's just see these young guys ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Big shout out to 410 Byron says, I finally made it to the live. No hashtag replay gang for now. LOL. And big shout out to you, Byron. Thank you for coming through to this episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and like that video as well. Let's see. So the other piece of news as well here that we have from Jonas Schaefer, Tyler Beatty was heavily involved in the pass game, and he caught everything. He caught everything yesterday.
K-Dog said he caught everything except COVID. Like that.
I like that. I like that a lot. Big shout out to K-Dog. Coming through with the clever quips. I like that. Heavily involved in the pass game. That's important. That's important, right? I mean, the Ravens, we know how heavily they like to run the football, but at the same time, like being able to get, a J.K. Dobbins involved in the pass game and a Gus Edwards, and then, hey, a Tyler Beatty as well. When you think about it, if you have all their running backs out on the field, if you're a defense, right? If I'm a defense and I'm playing the Ravens and I have to guard every single running back as if they're going to either come up the middle, rush to the outside, or leak out the side for a screen pass, that's ridiculously hard to defend. You can't.
And that's what's been missing in this offense, I think, was the running backs getting involved in the receiving game. We've been talking about it for, I'd say, a year and a half now. We wanted it with J.K. Dobbins. We wanted it.
Yeah.
We just wanted it nonstop. And then it just never showed up. Or when it did, it was just poorly executed plays. Very poor. I think that's missing in this offense. And we'll talk about more with the coordinator and all that. But I guess they're still hurt with Dobbins. I would like to see him become more of a pass catcher running back. And we saw from Gus. Gus can catch up the backfield. Another underrated part of his game. I don't think that's talked about enough. No. When he would catch it, it was going for, I think about the Giants game and the Jaguars game in 2020. Shrugged off the 3 or 4 defenders against the Giants. And a nice just downfield catch by Edwards. So with Beatty coming in, he can maybe bring something that we don't have and just help this offense out even more. And just his agility and just his cuts are disgusting. So imagining him catching it out the backfield, hitting the defender with a nice little juke move and just taking it for 15 yards can do wonders.
Yeah, absolutely right about that. Let me see. Our guy Daryl Turner says, Beatty was an absolute steal where we got him. He only fell because of his size. Dude's tape is legit. He's explosive. And like you guys said, he catches everything out of the backfield.
I mean,
yeah. You're right, Daryl. I think he's definitely a steal. With the way that our running back room operates, like you can elevate lesser talent in the Ravens system. You really can. And I understand we got Tyler Beatty in what round? What round was it?
7th.
7th round, right?
Yes.
I understand like he fell because, a lot of teams didn't see him as a top talent at the running back position. But the same does not apply. Like the running back position is not the same in Baltimore as it is in any other team in the league. If you look at the past 3 years, the Ravens have been top 3 in rushing.
With last year, who we had?
Devonta Freeman, Latavius Murray, still top 3. Le'Veon Bell, still top 3. So with a Tyler Beatty, I don't doubt that this guy can come in, and as long as they utilize him the correct way, not like a Justice Hill where it's mainly special teams. It's only if one of the starting guys gets hurt, that sort of thing. If they actually utilize him, every now and again, and I expect him to get a lot of burn in the preseason. If they actually utilize him, see what he can do, I feel like he can definitely be a good return on investment for sure, especially for a 7th round pick.
And you're going to think, like, Gus was undrafted. And even just going back, Alex Collins, we got him. He was a free agent, but he was a 5th round pick. Ken Dixon, I think, was a 4th round pick. We've been doing this with running backs that are taken in the later rounds and just not going to stop. So definitely on brand of the Ravens. And then with Dobbins as a 2nd, I just think he's been forgotten about. Like, his stats were up there with Jonathan Taylor, and we saw Taylor take over the league last year.
Yeah.
So
let's see. Josh Price chiming in here. Shout out to Josh, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through. My guy Josh is actually a very, very good director as well. Josh, leave your Twitter, your YouTube in the comments down below in the live chat so people can check out your short films, your shows, things like that. Please, I would appreciate you for that. Says, so are we going to cut Justice Hill or what? I don't know. I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
Harbs really likes him for special teams.
There's going to be 4 running backs kept. So you got to think Gus, J.K., Beatty. Could be him for the 4th because he can play as a gunner, and you know how
Yeah.
much we value special teams. I'm
Yeah.
not speaking this from me. This is just common knowledge. Wouldn't surprise me if he made it at all.
Yeah, it really wouldn't surprise me at all. And the way it's looking right now is looking like he probably will make the team for sure. And in large part because of what he can offer, like you said, as a gunner and on special teams. And we know how much Harbaugh and that coaching staff values those type of players. Just getting into a few other things that Jonas Schaefer said real quick. Like the video, guys. We got about 75, almost 80 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much.
We also have our first super chat as well.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. My guy, Kyle Reeves. Big shout out to Kyle Reeves. My guy leaving our first super chat donation of the episode, making it rain here on the Purple Rain podcast, episode 115. Says, need Little Caesars to sponsor PRP watch parties. Ooh, man, we're looking into the future. I like that. Watch parties.
Little
We haven't
Caesars,
even thought about
I think
that.
Little Caesars is overhated and underrated, honestly. $5, you know what you're getting.
Hey,
Not
look.
bad. You
I
know what you're getting.
mean, you kind of right. I was thinking about that just the other day, actually. I was like,
This
you know
is
what?
a debate. Me and Kyle, we've been having this debate with others for years. You know what you're getting. $5 hot and ready. We both agree.
Bro,
We will fight
I was
everybody on this.
I was walking out of a store the other day, and like there was a Little Caesars like next to the store, and I see somebody walking out with like 5 boxes of pizza, and I'm like, damn, that's $25 worth of pizza. You know what I mean? Like it's only $25 for 5 pizzas. That it's not a bad deal.
They're
You know
not
exactly
saying
what you're getting.
it's going to be premier.
Right.
It's not going to be the best, but it's $5 hot and ready.
Exactly. Hot and ready. Ready to go. Ready to go.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, wouldn't mind the Little Caesars sponsorship. If anybody, a representative from Little Caesars, listens to the show, we mess with you guys, obviously. So make sure you give us an email at the Purple Rain Podcast or simply suddendeath@gmail.com. Yeah. Hush, hush.
Hey.
But yeah, shout out to you, Kyle Reeves. Thank you for making it rain here on episode 115 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Another thing that we could get into from, we actually do have another super chat donation as well from D Was. Thank you so much. Making it rain here. Says, let's do a PRP podcast outside at Pickles Pub.
Never been
Is
to
that a
Pickles
Baltimore
Pub.
pub? I've never been there.
It's right outside of Camden Yards. Right outside.
Never been there before.
Let me go.
I really do want to do like a Rain Gang meetup or something like that. I feel like that would be really, really cool. Maybe we could do it at like, I don't know, some sort of like park or like field or something. We can throw the football around, you know, do something.
Engraven has to run that flag football back, man. I'm telling you, we gotta run that back.
I forgot he does that. Yeah, I forgot he does that.
Has
If he
to.
does that, I'm definitely down. We'll definitely, the Rain Gang will be there. For sure. Shout out to you though, D-Was. We appreciate you for donating to this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast and making it rain here on episode 115. Just a few more things from our guy Jonas Schaefer. Says Jalen Armour Davis also had an interception after Benjamin Victor could not secure a quick throw. So more news there. We've heard a lot about Jalen Armour Davis. Also, Demarion Williams, right? He was featured in the OTA videos as well. I feel like more because of his Demarion Williams, that is, more because of his, I don't want to say like his mouth, but his personality. You know, he's very outspoken. Like he has that, and you can tell that like he's the type of player like on the field, he's not gonna take no crap. You know what I mean? He's not gonna take no crap from anybody. He speaks up about that. He's open about that. He's forward about that. Even the way that he just talks. And I love that. You love that from your defensive players. You just do.
He's got the nickname, Pepe.
Right.
Love it.
Right. That was good news. That was definitely good news. Now, let's go ahead and shift gears here. Let's go ahead and shift gears into talking about and just getting more into our Purple Rain report for the evening or this episode. Also brought to you by Manscaped, like we said before. First thing, Greg Roman, in a press conference the other day, he spoke up talking about the Ravens offense, all in all, we took this quote from here saying the Ravens offense will look different this year. He also went on to say that, Lamar Jackson, he probably knows about 80% of the offense.
Yeah.
We're introducing like a new 20% of the offense that he'll have to learn, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, Alex, what did you take from all this?
I was going to stop you right there because I was going to ask you what you took from this. But, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that because, I'm just going to talk about the past couple of years. In the 2020 season, we heard Forge a New Identity. Last season, we heard The Vault. Now, this season, 20%, I guess, updated playbook. I mean, you're not going to get me with this, Gregory, you're not going to get me. You're not going to get me, Gregory. Nope, not going to get me.
Right, it feels like he's trying to fool us for like...
Fool me one time. Fool me 2 times. Not going to fool me 3 times, Gregory.
But he's fooled the Ravens front office multiple times. Fooled them once, fooled them twice, 3, 4 times. You know what I mean? Like, it's been multiple times,
Fooled the Niners. And that's
fooled them. Fooled the Niners, fooled the Bills. Like, he's fooled a lot of people. He's made a career out of fooling people. You might as well call him a comedian, honestly.
Oh.
You might as well. Because it really frustrates me. Because, I will be so upset if, 6 months from now, we're in, week 4 or 5 of the season or whatever, right? And the Ravens offense is still having the same type of struggles, It's clear that it's not really all on Lamar. It's clear that it's not really all on the receiving core. It's clear that it's not really all on the offensive line either. And it really comes down to hey, it's looking like what they're doing and what they're calling in certain situations isn't working. It's gonna boil back down to this guy once again. And that's why I have to take what he's saying here with a grain of salt.
Yeah. We also have another super chat from our guy Savik saying W sponsorship. Congratulations, guys. So proud. Thank you, Savix, because this would not be possible without you and every other member of the ranking. So thank you very much. Okay, Gregory, got a funny story to tell you guys. So I'm at my job this past Saturday working, and I get a call from somebody looking for something, a product that we have, and said person comes in the store, and I all in all, I helped out Greg Roman this weekend. And,
oh man.
Yeah, I helped him out. I'm not going to say too much, but nice person, a very, very nice guy.
No, you got to give me facts, bro. You got to give me how tall he is. You got to give me specifics. What's going on with him?
He's around my height, 5'8" to 5'10", around them.
Yeah,
may have had to show him how to use Apple Pay. Didn't surprise me at all. But very nice guy. I'll give him that.
Had to show him how to use Apple Pay. What a lack of innovation. What a lack of creativity. I don't know.
Yeah, had to.
I don't know
Where to tap the phone. Yeah, but that was just my funny story for the day. But it's very professional. I was keeping it professional because the amount of migraines this man has given me over the past couple of years. The amount of nights I've went to bed seething in anger, and I mean seething, bro, did that really just happen? I had to put on a fake persona. It was lovely.
Oh my god, that is absolutely hilarious, man. That you actually met Greg Roman, in the flesh, in person, and had to hold your tongue about it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Like I said, it wasn't football. I didn't talk any football because I know this man's probably the most hated person in Baltimore. But outside of that, he's very nice person. Yeah. I'll give there's a difference between football and on the field and off the field. Off the field, very nice guy. So
shout out to our guy Simply S10 for actually meeting offensive coordinator for the Ravens, Greg Roman. That is actually insane. Edgar Allen Yo with another super chat donation, absolutely positively making it rain here on episode 115, the Michael Crabtree Campanero episode. Who else was it again?
Dave Zassadil, Ryan Mallett, and the old Hollywood Brown number.
Yeah. Shout out to all those guys. Shout out to you, Edgar Allen Yo. We appreciate you for making it rain here on episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. We appreciate you. It says, what's up with y'all? What's up with you?
What's going on?
Let us know. Let us know what's going on down below in the group chat, in the live chat, that is. All right. So just kind of getting back to put a nice little bow on this whole Roman speaking up about the Ravens offense will look different this year. As a collective, I think I can speak for the Rain Gang. I can speak for Alex. I can speak for the Ravens flock. Alex flock. There is an Alex flock. Believe that. Follow Simply as 10 on YouTube. But
Thank you.
look, I can speak for everybody when I say Greg Roman. We will believe it when we see it. Straight up, straight like that. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on from that after we address the super chat donation from DLC. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, man, for making it rain here. It says realest mugs in the room. What's up, guys?
Much love, DLC. Thank you.
You're the realest, man. Making it rain here. Episode 115 of PRP. I mean, we couldn't do this without you guys. We really couldn't. We can't express that enough. We cannot do this without you guys, like, at all. And DLC, we appreciate you. D-Was, we appreciate you again for donating once again. Says emergency meeting about Greg Roman this year at Alex.
I hope not, because that means we probably lost a game or two. I hope not. But we'll see.
Yeah.
And talking about coordinators, this will actually segue us into our next topic. Was our defensive coordinator, Mike Macdonald, who, I'll be honest, I love this man already. I love this man. I really do. Maybe because he's a younger guy, but God damn it, the way he talks, the way he's talking about Patrick Queen, I love it. And shout out to Garnett. 82 views means 82 likes. I hope so. But he answered a bunch of questions, and talking about Patrick Queen, number 6, he said he sees a lot of growth in him, and the game has slowed down for him. And this is something he said himself. This is something he said himself 1,000,000%. Told us that. And there was a great feature put out by the Ravens on Patrick Queen. They followed him back to Louisiana. I don't know if you watched that.
Yeah.
That was an amazing thing. Shout out to them. I loved every minute of it. And sidetrack. The fact he went back to a school, I didn't see any post about it. No, nothing. Showed me how genuine it was. Because when you do something and you don't post about it, this means like it's coming from your heart. You're not doing it for like a positive reaction. I love that. So a big shout out to Patrick Queen for that. That was amazing. But hearing his dad say how year 3 high school, year 3 college, he broke out. We're going to year 3 for NFL. This is backing it up. This is 1,000,000% backing up the fact that his growth is going to be through the roof, and I'm expecting a wonderful year from number 6. I'll leave it to you right.
No, I mean, I love that. I mean, I think I actually missed the part where his dad said that in year 3 of his high school campaign and his college campaign is where he actually broke out and started to do really, really well and perform. That's interesting because he's, like you said, he's going into year 3 of his NFL career. And that's exciting, to say the absolute least. Now, what I really like the most about this Mike Macdonald quote about Patrick Queen, again, a friend of the show, a friend of the Rain Gang, big shout out to him. I really like the fact that he says the game has slowed down for him. Now, we all know that Patrick Queen, he's a very fast guy. He's a fast linebacker.
Very fast.
If the game slows down for an already fast player, they're going to get even faster. They're going to look even faster on film, on tape, on game day. So, I mean, this just gives me all the excitement in the world for a Patrick Queen that he can really be that. And I say it all the time on the Appropriate Podcast. The linebackers are the glue to your defense. They're the perfect piece in between your secondary and between your front 7, your defensive line, right? So Patrick Queen's, his role is super important. And Mike Macdonald also alluded to in this interview that he's going to have a more increased role. He's going to have a huge role in this defense, and the fact that the game has slowed down for him as fast as he is, that is great. That's great for me.
Yeah, and I think he's going to make this defense easier for him to understand. It won't be as complex as Wink.
Yeah, right.
We'll get into Melvin's comment
for sure.
But yeah, I just hearing the way he talks. That's why I said, like, I love this man already, and he hasn't. And that could change on 1,000,000%. It could change depending how the defense does. But I think what he's brought and what I'm hearing from players, like we heard it from Patrick Queen himself, saying he's brought something different to this team. I love that, and maybe we won't be seeing cover zeros all the time, but maybe we won't see that.
Right. I mean, fun fact, Coach Mike Macdonald at Michigan, 67% of his plays that he called were cover two high safety. So we can see a whole lot of Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams in cover two this year. So be on the lookout for that.
And that helps out the secondary as well. It helps out everybody. So
for sure, definitely. Getting into Melvin's comment here, thank you so much for donating to this show. We appreciate you so much, making it rain on this episode of PRP. Melvin says Greg Roman is the best offensive coordinator that Baltimore has ever had.
I mean, 2019 was an amazing season, but it was.
Kubiak. Yeah.
Kubiak is definitely challenging him for that 2014 season, personally.
I can agree there. I can't really, can't really agree with you wholeheartedly right here, Melvin. I just can't. I mean, considering the fact that
we haven't had any good offensive coordinators. We had
that too.
Mark Trestman be a coordinator.
That too, and that's why like I had to think about it for a minute. But I mean, what you're saying, like with Kubiak, I mean, I get that for sure. Cameron, I get that for sure too. But what we've seen with Greg Roman is just the lack of ability to really adjust and adapt to the current situation. And that's the problem I feel like a lot of Ravens fans have had with him. So for that very reason, of course, all the other offensive coordinators that have been in Baltimore have been fired, right? And all the offensive coordinators that will continue to be fired from here going forward until the day I die, until the day everybody else who's watching this dies, like they'll all be fired for the same reason. They couldn't adapt. They couldn't adjust. So it's kind of hard to answer this, but now, like I said, I kind of back you up with this. I say Kubiak.
I can back. So Greg Roman is the winningest offensive coordinator we've had. We're 33-16 with him. I'm going to throw Jim Caldwell's name in there as well. He took over that 2012 season, and I will probably down this hill. Without him, we don't win the Super Bowl. Our offense carried us to that Super Bowl. The defense was mid, I believe, that season. So there's that. And then, so I think Kubiak and Caldwell, I think I put above him, but Roman, it's just hard. It's just hard to just judge what he does, because there's games where I look at that Chiefs game in week 2. I think he called a perfect game. That was a hell of a game called by him. And then just...
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how he was in his bag that game.
It's just like, I need to see that more. It's the NFL. I don't want to see that once every 4 games. I need to see it every game.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to see it in week 2 and then never again, Like, that's not what the NFL is all about. It's about winning championships, not week 2 games. But, yeah, kind of moving on from that, I think that was... Actually, no. We do have one more thing that we wanted to bring up in the Purple Rain Report, brought to you by Manscaped. James PROCHE was recently on the Lounge Podcast, another Ravens produced piece of content, and he was saying a couple of interesting things about the Ravens wide receiving core. You guys can see the quote here on the screen. I'll basically read it for you. Basically saying, starting from this third paragraph that you guys can see, quote, "A lot of opportunity, blank slate," PROCHE said. "I paint the picture whatever way I want it, whatever way we want it as a team. Earn your respect every day. Work at it. Be consistent. Nobody is going to give you anything." Yeah. I found that quote very interesting. I did.
I think James PROCHE is the easiest player to root for on the team, one of the easiest players, because he's worked his ass off for everything he's gotten. I mean, I went back and just studied him at SMU. He literally said he went there, it was local, because he wanted to bring SMU back to prominence. I think bringing the school back to prominence is having the most receptions in the FBS, personally. You have the most receptions in the whole of the college. I think that's bringing the school back, giving them some credibility. And the catches he made, we're not talking about no Tony toe taps. We're talking about one-handed with a guy draped over you. Yeah. And still not being given a chance when he has done nothing wrong except catch every damn pass, convert first downs. Come on. And then getting what was it? Just not bench, but scratch. After your best game as an NFL player.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely irritates me for sure that Prochet has not gotten his opportunity up into this point, but it seems like he will. You know, with the departure of a Hollywood Brown, it seems like he is kind of moving up that pecking order of guys who are going to be on the field more often and get more opportunities. Now, just kind of talking about what he brought up in this article here or in this interview, he says, quote, again, a lot of opportunity, blank slate. He said, I paint the picture whatever way I want it, whatever way we want it as a team. Stop there. I think that was interesting because he's using the analogy of a painter, you know, painting a picture on a canvas. I would argue that James Prochet, in his role, he's more of the paint or the paintbrush. Greg Roman is the painter, right? So it's not necessarily the picture that James Prochet wants to paint, because he can't paint any picture if Greg Roman doesn't allow him to. If Greg Roman doesn't scheme up plays for him to get open, you know? Because like you said, Alex, the kid deserves his opportunities. He's done nothing wrong. He's done nothing but catch every damn pass, like you said. Make plays. You guys can look at that Titans game from a while back. I mean, he was stepping up.
That was the only catch, and it was on a fourth down or a third down. Converted it.
Stepping up when he needed to step up. When his name was called upon, he answered, right? He answered. So like my guy Dre says here, Prochet is going to prove a lot of people wrong, yes. But it is contingent upon how well he is utilized in this offense. Let's talk about what option he is on this offense, right?
Oh, boy.
Who's the first option? Who's the first option on the Baltimore Ravens offense? Alex, answer that for me.
And receiving Rashad Bateman. 100%.
No. I'm just talking about. I'm just talking about in general.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, exactly.
By far.
That's number one.
Yeah.
So with that being said, and you know how I'm doing this now, where does James Prochet fall in that pecking order of options?
So I'm gonna go Lamar. I'm gonna go Mark Andrews.
Okay. Right.
I'm gonna go J.K. when he's healthy. Mm-hmm. Him and Mark can be flipped 2 and 3. I'm gonna put Gus ahead of him.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm gonna pat Ricard ahead of James Prochet.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be dumb honest right now.
Yeah.
Duvernay, we're at 6 right now. Hell,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably put I'll put Kolar in front of him. Yeah, we're at 8 right now.
That's 8. That's bro, and we're talking about rookies, guys that have not even set foot on an NFL football field yet. That's 8 guys ahead of James Prochet. If that doesn't scream that you're the paintbrush in the paint and not the painter, then I don't know what will. But I mean, I have all the faith in James Prochet, to go out here because I believe in the guy's abilities. And the reason why I'm talking so passionately right now is because I believe in what this guy can do. I just think it's a shame that he's never given that opportunity. And I would hate for, us to, play Prochet this year. He has another one of those years where it's like, what, maybe 6-7 catches for however many yards, just no big impact, right? And then he ends up going to another team, being maybe a first, second, or third option, and just actually producing. That's what I'm afraid of.
And I tweeted out this video. It was when he was at training camp last year, and he talked about how, like, you got to trust your journey, and there's not one single script for everybody. Like, the way this man talks, I think is ahead of his time, number one. Like, trusting your journey is something that you kind of embrace because, like, not everybody's going to have the same, just like, destination. He was talking about how, like, Devin Booker was, 19 when he got drafted. There's guys in the NBA who make their NBA debut at, 27, 28?
Yeah.
So, like, and him bringing that up is just kind of crazy to think about. And Byron said it great. He said that him and Duvernay, he compares them to a young AB and Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, 6 and a 4th rounder. Or 6 and a 3rd rounder. I think about that too. Now, I'm not saying they're gonna be what they were, but you never know until you give them a chance. And I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's the next Julio Jones, next Antonio Brown, receiving wise, not off the field wise. But I'm gonna sit here and say he will be a solid contributor, and he is one if you give him a chance. I mean that 100%. Like, that's not being a fan. Like, seeing what this guy, has brought. And I know he's not the fastest, but hell, Darius Hayward-Bay, what did he do when he got drafted? Because he was really fast. He was a bust, an absolute bust. John Ross, he ran the quickest 40. Where the hell is he at right now?
Right.
He's a free agent. It's not all about speed.
Right.
This
not.
guy can make the catches, move the chains. And we're not looking for speed. We're looking for just a damn good receiver, and I think he is one.
Yeah, he definitely is one for sure. All right, so let's go ahead. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and segue into our question segment of the episode. This episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast.
Yes.
Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Smash that like button, actually. If you're new here, you're watching for the very first time, welcome. Thank you so much, especially for listening this far into the podcast. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because there will be a lot more Ravens content coming your way soon and very soon.
And we do have a new viewer, Laura. She says, hello, new to the channel. Love you guys. Thank you, Laura. We appreciate you. And welcome to the Rain Game. Welcome to the fam. Welcome.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Laura, for joining our show. We appreciate you so much. Yolanda even here says, part of the Rain Gang already, Yolanda says, hi, Laura.
We're the Rain Gang ladies, too. The Rain Gang ladies reign supreme.
Love them.
Reign supreme.
Love them.
Their own little family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do. Mod Boz in the house as well says, like the video. Absolutely, man. We appreciate you, bro.
Actually, Boz is actually graduating from college on Saturday.
Ooh.
So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Boz.
Boz. Okay. Shout out to my guy, Mod Boz, graduating from college, man. Taking that big step. Transitioning into a very important part of life, man. So proud of you, man. Yeah, big congrats. Big congrats for sure. So yeah, getting on to our Rain Gang questions segment, guys.
You got the finals. You got that.
Yeah,
and I see Garnett actually said, watch out for Shamar Bridges, undrafted free agent. And you put me on the Mekhi Polk, all right? I made a video for this man.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, all right? Somebody said he's kind of built like CeeDee Lamb. I looked, I'm like, you're not wrong. 6'3", 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Catching with his hands, playing against top college programs as a Texas A&M and Auburn, not playing against no bum schools, playing against good schools and putting up numbers.
Right.
Listen, the UDFA, I think Slade Bolden, hell of a player. We got some players.
We do.
Let disrespect us. That's one of the best.
Yeah. If you want to, disrespect if you want to, for sure. Yeah. Let's see, Laura with our super chat donation. Oh my goodness!
You didn't have to do that.
Thank you so much, Laura.
Thank you, Laura. You have to do that.
Thank you. Absolutely, making it rain here on episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. Again, Laura, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Says yes, excited to be a part. No, we're excited for you to be a part of the Rain Gang. We appreciate you to no end. We really do. We really do. And welcome to our family here. We appreciate you.
Without this chat, it'd just be two guys just talking back and forth, and that's no fun at all.
Right. Exactly. That's what we call a Purple Rain report, actually. But let's see. Getting into our question segment. Let's get into our question segment. Guys, drop your questions. About anything. It doesn't have to be about Ravens football. It can be about anything. Literally anything. Literally. It doesn't even have to be about sports.
It could be like, why is Manscaped's products so damn good? I mean, I'll talk them up for you 1,000,000%. I
will. Yeah. Nose hair trimmer. I'm going to stand by it. 20% off. 20% off your Manscaped order if you use the code PRP. All right. JPrime235 here says, how do you guys feel about Ryan Fitzpatrick retiring? Yes, he just announced his retirement today.
Hell of a career.
Yeah.
Shout out to him. 17 years, I think.
That's how you want to do it, right?
Listen, didn't get a Super Bowl, but he got the bag. He said, I'm not going to ruin my body. I'm going to get the bag, be a backup, come in for a couple of games. I'll stay on this hill. If the Dolphins played him against the Bills a couple years ago, 2 years ago, I think they could have made the playoffs. He was a better option than Tua. I'll die on that hill.
Came into the league, got the bag, is well respected by the vast majority of football fans. And then, in retirement, he can walk out on the street and 80% of people, the vast majority of the people, not going to know who he is. So he still gets to keep his privacy. You know what I mean? Like he can cut the beard. Completely switch up the identity. And he's just walking around with all that money. So I feel like that's the way you want to do it. Big shout out, congratulations to Ryan Fitzpatrick. Of course, we don't know the guy, but he's had a hell of a career, had some ups, had some downs. But it looks like it's been a lot of fun. Yeah,
Harvard
that too.
Grad had the highest Wonderlic score, I think, ever. So
yeah,
shout out to you.
Yeah. Another question coming from Depressed O's fan says, out of all of our rookie free agent wide receivers, who do you think makes the 53-man roster?
I'm gonna go first. This guy, he persuaded me. I gotta go Polk for Prez. After him, I'm
Poke for
going to go
Prez.
Slade Bolden. I think I really do. But
Yeah. I'm still sticking with Polk for Prez right now. I'm thinking Makai Polk will make it, but I think that the Ravens, the coaching staff, I think that they're really gonna like what they see from Slade Bolden. Like you said, again, like you said on the other episode, man, he's a real bring your lunch to work kind of guy. So
did you see Raleigh Webb? What he looks like?
no.
All right. So some guy said the Ravens just went to Abercrombie and Fitch and just brought some of their cash
Oh,
registers. Like
I gotta look him
you
up.
gotta look and see what it looks like, bro. Like
I
I
gotta
walked
look
in the
him up.
Hollister and I think I saw him there.
Yeah,
But no,
he's on the promo.
that boy is lean. Yeah, that boy is lean.
Yeah. But definitely Makai Polk, and that's from both of us there. Let's see. Kareem Shebeka says we need Proche on the show.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. We get Proche on here. James Proche. Yeah. Proche, if you're listening, come on through, man. Join the Rain Gang. We'd appreciate it. Yeah, we love you. We love you. He also said he's a photographer too. He told me the other day, I was in his Instagram live and I asked him, I was like, hey, do you take pictures? He was like, yeah, I take pictures. I'm a photographer type thing. And I'm a photographer. So I would love to see his work, go back and forth, exchange that. So maybe we will get Proche on the show. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
I got mine right here. Like,
Oh, okay. Is that the Canon?
Bro,
What kind is that?
Oh, it's a Sony A6000.
That's a Sony. Oh, even better.
See, it's nothing special. It's my starter camera. So I'm learning. Got to get a lens for this joint soon. Probably I'll talk to you about lenses after the show. But
Yeah. We'll get into that. A few more questions from you guys we'll take here on this episode of the show. Let's see. The Don says, Alex and Sutton, do you think that Lamar likes playing in Giro's scheme or likes him in general?
I don't know. The thing about Lamar, he's always professional. I love that about him. He's professional, doesn't call anybody out, even though he really could. But I wouldn't say. I think he has fun playing in this game because he gets to run around, throw the ball. But I think that's probably going to be running out soon. I think he wants, because that's not really excelling him to where he wants to be. So I think that's coming to an end. But this is all pure speculation.
Yeah. Don, to answer your question, I'm going to say hell no. I'm going to say, yeah, no. He does not like playing in Giro's scheme. And I mean, there's been multiple instances to tell you why he doesn't like playing in that scheme. He literally said last year that, hey, I mean, sometimes when I'm under center, it's like the defenses, they already know our plays before we call them. That's one thing. If that's not a shot at your offensive coordinator, I don't know what is. Number two, the guy is not at OTAs. And I know a lot of people give him flack about not being at OTAs and things like that, which I don't give him flack. I really don't. If you want to go back and forth with me on that, I will.
I don't care.
He's
working with a quarterback coach. It's not like he's out there doing
He's working.
Nothing.
He's working. Let's not even get into the NBC Sports, Chris Sims, and what Mike Florio said the other day. Because I will get mad.
For sharing the video in the first place, which got his attention. So that was awesome.
I will get very angry if I get to talking about that. But I don't think he likes playing in Giro's scheme, man. And like I said before, the fact that he literally said himself verbatim that it seems like defenses already knows our plays before we call them, before we snap the football, that's an issue. He's saying, translation, hey, our coordinators calling plays that are predictable. That's what he's saying. So if he's saying that, Don, you have the answer to your question right there.
The Don knew it.
Yeah. Let's see. About two more questions we'll take from you guys here. Adam78 chiming in here says, Harbaugh has said there may be three safeties on the field at the same time. We know Williams and Hamilton will be starters. So do you see Stevens as the third since he will be playing both safety and cornerback?
I think they said they want to use him more as a cornerback this year. So I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Chuck Clark is that person if we keep him. But if not, I think maybe Geno Stone falls in that role, or maybe Tony Jefferson. So if they don't use him as a cornerback, then yes. But if they want to use him more as cornerback, then I see Stone or Jefferson on the field more.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I feel like, and like I said before, I think that Mike Macdonald, he really does like the too high safety look a lot, and he about 70% of the time at Michigan he ran that, and only about I want to say it was like 24 or 30% of the time, Wink Martindale ran that type of defense when he was here in his tenure in Baltimore. So I think that the Ravens know what personnel that they have, and they know who are their top two guys at safety right now. Kyle Hamilton is already making waves. He's their number two guy. Their number one guy by default right now is going to be a Marcus Williams. There's a reason why they signed him. So I feel like those two guys will be kind of the main pieces. Stevens, Chuck Clark. If Chuck Clark stays on the roster, both of those guys will have sort of like a hybrid role, I'm not exactly sure what they would do with them on a play-to-play basis, but they'll probably move them around as the Ravens like to do with a lot of their players.
I see the A-Pro brought up Ardarius Washington. I think they're using him more as a slot cornerback, which I'm cool with that. Anything to get him on the field. Big Ardarius Washington fan right here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely would like to see Ardarius Washington get more burn preseason. Hopefully, we can see him ball out. But we do have another Super Chat donation. We do. I would be remiss if I did not bring up the Super Chat donation from our girl, Yolanda. Thank you so much, Yolanda, again, for tuning in, supporting, donating to this episode 115 of the Purple Rain podcast. Says, name one player that you hope we re-sign and why. Thank you for the great stream. It's always a pleasure hanging out with the Rain Gang. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To re-sign, I mean, this year or like next year? Because next year, obviously, Lamar. But this year, I think there's only going to be, I think Justin Houston's the only one out there I can think of.
Yeah. Would definitely want us to get Justin Houston back, man. I
just don't see anybody else who we re-signed that would make sense.
Right. Like Chuck Clark. I mean, a Brandon Williams.
Yeah, I don't think Brandon's coming back.
Exactly.
He's still out there. Purnell, I think he's retiring. I think Jimmy Smith's retiring. That's crazy out Brandon Williams. He was on a 4-year, I think, $50 million contract still out there. That's insane.
Yeah. But, I mean, again, man, Justin Houston, last year, if you go back and watch a lot of those games, a lot of those big, important games, he had late in the game, like down the stretch, he made a play or two in a lot of those games that kind of swayed the momentum in one way or another, Yeah. He may not have finished all those plays. Some plays he might have been penalized for, this, that, or the other. He was in the backfield, ready to make a play. And I would hate to see him go to another team, So if there was one player that we had to re-sign, for me, it would be Justin Houston because pass rush is paramount.
Yeah. But outside of Lamar, I'd say for in the future, to re-sign, I think this is Gus as well. But I think he signed a 2-year extension. So I think last year he was out. Now this year, I think he'll be free agent next year. I'm not sure on that. But yeah. Man, oh man.
Yeah, I mean, and speaking of Gus, they have to find a way to get him because Dobbins is going to be involved, right? Gus, they have to find a way to get him involved in a big way.
Oh, he's a running back. They'll find a way. He'll find a way.
He'll find a way, right? Yeah. If we know one thing about Greg Roman, he'll find a way for sure. I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there when it comes to the questions. Alex, what's up?
His contract ends with JK, so no to Gus, and then I wouldn't mind if I re-sign to Peters, depending on how he plays. I'm all for that. I love Peters, love what he brings. I thought he was missed badly last year, so bad.
Yolanda says here, I like and want Justin Houston and Clark. I'm torn. I get we like Clark for his veteran leadership. Can wear the green dot, those sort of things. But at the same time, as I always say on the show, it's a hit and not get hit league. And if we can have somebody at pass rusher who can get after the quarterback, I would take that guy, especially considering that we have a Kyle Hamilton and a Marcus Williams playing the safety position. So with that being said, I want to ask you, Alex, real quick before we get out of here. Game 1 of the NBA Finals is tonight.
Yes.
I want to know, who do you have in this series winning? Who is winning the NBA Finals this year?
We have 66 likes. I'm gonna get that to 70, please.
Mm.
And be honest, I'm kind of hurt. One of the Heat in there. I was rooting for Jimmy Butler so hard. Um, that sucked. But I have the Warriors taking it tonight in Game One,
Mm.
and I have them winning it in 7.
Oh, and
I think,
7.
yeah, I think Curry is gonna get his Finals MVP that he does not have. They
I know he
just,
wants that. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
they just, he's just so much fun to watch. But Boston is so good defensively. I mean, Tatum and Brown, disgusting. Marcus Smart, hell of a defender. And it's good old Al Horford just doing his thing, just
Yeah.
existing, just making those clutch buckets. But yeah, I got the Warriors in 7. What about you?
I have the Warriors, but I have them in 6. I have them in
Okay.
6 because I feel like the Warriors, man, they're that team that they can take your heart. They can snatch your soul just
Oh my
like that.
god. Oh my god.
And the way that they do it, they can just bomb you with threes. You know, everybody says basketball is a game of runs. It's not like football where, one
Yeah.
team will dominate throughout the whole game. Basketball is like back and forth. This team scores 10, then this team scores 12, and this team scores 14, and it's just back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, with the Warriors, what they do, they make you exchange twos for threes. So while you're hitting layups, getting dunks, things like that, they're hitting threes. You
Yep.
know, so you do the math yourself, and like it ends up being they win. They take the cake home, and I don't know, dude. Like with Steph Curry, like you said, he's so fun to watch. He's so exciting. He's really impacted the game of basketball like nobody else in the history of the sport has ever done. So for that reason, I just feel like they're going to be a little bit too much to handle for the Celtics. I think that Steph Curry is going to go out and torch Marcus Smart, especially considering what Marcus Smart did to him, injuring him earlier
Mm.
in this season. I think that the Warriors are going to come out and just kind of blow him out of the water.
Yeah,
Warriors in
man.
6.
Also on the Warriors
I mean,
bench,
yeah.
if there is, a last shot with the Warriors, I don't want Curry taking it. I want Iguodala taking it. I want
I
Iguodala.
want
I want
Iguodala.
Iguodala. Yes.
In the words of the famous
Yes.
Max Kellerman. Oh my
Did you see
goodness.
the KD and Stephen A. Smith beef on Twitter today? That was hilarious, by the way. Don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. KD used the "We don't care" meme on Stephen A. Smith. Loved it. Loved it. He used it on him and absolutely just ratioed him. Absolutely, it was like 50,000 likes last time I saw it. Stephen A. had like 2K. It was bad.
Yo, because I mean, Stephen A. He's not social media savvy, but KD he is. He's young
Take a
enough to
look,
be
y'all.
like,
IMG
yeah.
underscore like Stephen A.
I gotta look up that because I know it's gonna be hilarious. Like, imagine getting ratioed with a meme of
Of
yourself.
yourself. Yeah,
Oh my goodness,
that's
that's gotta be insane, dude. But yeah, the series should be very, very good. Shout out to both teams, man. The Celtics
hell of
and the
a
Warriors.
hell of a
Both, yeah, I
playoffs,
love
by
them
the way.
both. Right? Yeah,
Hell of a
NBA playoffs are a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it there for this episode of the Purple Rain podcast, as we're already about an hour and 8 minutes in. We appreciate you so much for coming out to this episode of PRP, episode 115. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video. Leave a like, a thumbs up
70
down
likes.
below. It
Thank
helps us
you.
out so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
guys so much for the likes so far. Keep liking the video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and if and only if you enjoyed the content that you just consumed. We'd appreciate it. It also helps us out a ton. And then also, one more thing, you can follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, like you see down below. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def, just like you see down below again. And then one more time, you can find my guy SimplyAs10 on Twitter at SimplyAs10 and on Instagram at SimplyAs10.prod. And don't forget, guys, listen, the Purple Rain Podcast is now sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped, the nation leader in male's personal hygiene below the belt. So if you do want some products from Manscaped, my personal favorite, this nose hair trimmer, his personal favorite, just the beard trimmer, trimming up the beard, keeping that nice and clean. Lovely, right? If you want to save 20% off your Manscaped order, make sure you use the code PRP and you will save 20% off of your order. Sponsored by Manscaped. Again, this has been episode 115 of the Purple Rain Podcast. With that being said, I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
Thank you again for all the continued love and support, the likes, the comments, And a shout out to those in the replay game if you made it this far.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to see you on Monday. Hopefully with some more good news to talk about. And as always, stay positive, test negative, and don't forget.
Never, ever, ever forget to call God. This has been episode 115 of the Purple Rain Podcast. We're going to catch you